All right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Bison, aka Bison Trades, over on Twitter. Welcome back to another episode of RareFUD Radio. I know we were gone for the entirety of last week. We had IRL event to catch up on with Art Basel. We'll be talking about that today. I was also sick, still am sick. I got a bug from Thanksgiving from my in-laws. It has hit me harder than a pillowcase of bricks. Man, it has been brutal, but we're still here. We're still vibing. We're going to be talking about the market today as normal. We're going to be talking about what's been going on, volume, all that good stuff. We're going to be talking about plays we've been making. We're going to be talking about Claynosaurs. We're going to be talking about D-Gods, all that good stuff. And joining me, as always, as my wonderful co-host and brother, Dorian. How you doing today, my man?
Yo, what's going on, dog? Every day's a holiday. I'm sorry you're down bad, but I'm glad you're here, man.
Yep, that's right. Hey, and the show doesn't stop, man. So, just a quick heads up to everybody: we will be moving the show from Thursday to Wednesday. I do have a wedding to go to, so I am trying very hard to just pump myself full of OTC meds and everything like that to make sure I'm good for this weekend. We're leaving Thursday morning, so we are going to go ahead and move that to tomorrow. It will be at noon. That is just because the dojo has a Twitter space that Dorian needs to get to, and I'm sure I will be on there as well, which is always the case when we have to move it to Wednesday. So just expect when we do move shows to Wednesday, it is going to be at noon. So if you want to catch us live, make sure you're checking us out on YouTube, on Twitter as well. It's under my Twitter account. And make sure you're subscribing, guys, please. It helps out the channel so much. Dorian has been crushing it with the shorts lately, and they have brought us a lot of subscribers. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you guys and all your support. We are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well if you want to catch us on your ride into work or if you're working out, whatever that looks like for you. But nonetheless, let's get into it, Dor. We do have a lot to talk about today.
Oh, yeah.
A lot to catch up on as well.
Yep.
We have 212,000 Solana volume. Again, very hard to gauge if that's actually true or not. We've been saying that volume is kind of a vanity metric for the foreseeable future until we get royalties back, for sure. In which case it becomes a little bit more of a concrete stat. But nonetheless, it doesn't feel too wash traded to me. It does feel like we are just cruising along. People are taking advantage of the fact that Solana is basically a stable coin around $13, $14 lately. And where you're making money is off these NFT plays. So it's been really good. Look, I said it, a few months back that I didn't really like trading, especially in that 30K environment, because we're trading for lunch money. And I know that with Solana at $14, pretty much the same thing, if not worse. But at least you're making multiples on your Solana stack. So for me, it's sharpening my blade right now. It's taking advantage of a high volume environment. And I'm just trying to stack Solana right now. And I could do so much more efficiently than I could back, 2-3 months ago, right? When we were at 30K sold volume and nothing was really moving. Now there are plays galore. Things are pumping right now. We're seeing nice 2Xs, 3Xs pretty easily on some of these projects that we'll be talking about today. Dorian, I want to get your opinion on where you're at in the market, how everything's going with you.
Yeah, man. It's great to see some volume back in the market. And I do agree with you. I apologize. 1 second.
That's okay.
Yeah, my little one is acting up. But, it's great to see some volume back in the market. And like you said, you can usually tell if things are being wash traded or if there's actual volume there. I think one of the clear signs of wash traded volume is just sentiment in the overall market. People are complaining on the timeline. While when there's actual volume there, people are discussing different plays, actively engaging in conversations, looking out for what's coming up next. And you see that a lot of that going on right now. Another good indicator is like kind of, I don't want to say a bottom signal, but at least a local bottom or some type of crab movement is the fact that people are talking about NFTs and trading again. We saw this happen during the 2-month period when Solana was around range from like $30 to $33. Once it finally hit that floor and settled around in the crab momentum, people started picking up volume again because they're like, okay, when I invest in an NFT, it's not going to tank again. So we're seeing that a lot now where it's ranging between like $12 to $14. It's like, all right, this is like, now we're trading for like snack money, but at least during it's stable snack money, so I can flip that snack money to make more soul.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. That's why I've been so active lately, and it's been great. Honestly, I've had, probably about a month and a half of consistently
Yeah,
profitable
you've been killing
weeks.
it.
It's been nice, and I would say it's really not that hard to make these plays because there's such little noise right now. Like
Mhm.
we're not being force fed a bunch of mints right now. The mints that are coming out are quality. We just had UGS mint, we just had Claynosaurus mint, we just had Lily mint. Yeah, it's been great. So the mints we do get, I've had time to digest them, sit, look at the numbers, see if it makes sense to mint, if it makes sense to wait for secondary or anything like that. Um, and a lot of these plays, it feels like it's consolidating from these speculative, you know, low cap or new mints, and they're going to blue chips. And I've been making
Mhm.
tweets about how blue chips have been moving really well while we're in this kind of range right here. So I think blue chips will continue to perform. We'll see if there's any volatility. The only time I'm really nervous about blue chips, honestly, is any massive upward movement. I don't think we have much more downward price action. I know a lot of people are calling for $8 Sol. It feels like we've bottomed here. I
Yes.
don't want to call my shot officially yet, but like $12, $11, $10 feels like it's a really strong bottom to me. Just observing 2017, 2018 price action of Ethereum, this goes in line with my thesis that we're seeing pretty much history doesn't often repeat itself, but it usually rhymes. We're seeing that price action kind of look very similar. So
Mhm.
I'm actually eyeing Sol. I've been buying Sol in small little bags, DCAing a bunch here. And I do think we start seeing a push up towards a range high, but we're going to be seeing another year and a half
Mhm.
of this crab movement where we're going from, you know, low tens or something like that, low teens, all the way up to, I would say about $40. I would say $40 is probably going to be a range high, and we'll just keep doing this. So, this for me is a great trading environment for NFTs, for derivatives, because essentially
Okay.
that's what NFTs are. They are leveraged derivative on Sol, the underlying asset, right? So I'm just trying to stack Sol right now. So by the time the next bull market comes, I am pumped, I am primed, I am ready to go. My
Yep.
goodness, this thing's kicking
That.
my butt.
No, that was well said, man. I agree with a lot what you said there, specifically about the blue chips. Right now, I'm focused. I'm liquidating some stuff to pick up SMB because after going to Art Basel, which we'll get into, it's like, man, I got to have me an SMB. And like the greatest utility right now for me in NFTs is being one of those top tier communities. But one of the reasons why I think picking up blue chips is the play, not only because we think Sol has reached the bottom. I don't even need blue chips to appreciate in Sol value to make profit from them. So if I pick up S&B at 250, if it stays at 250 as Sol appreciates to $40, guess what? I still 3x my money. Even if we see a small pullback to, if I brought an S&B at 250 at these prices and it pulls back to 200 or 175 and Sol does a 3x, I still am in profit. So it makes getting into one of these top tier blue chips at these prices, especially something like SMB, just seems like a no brainer at this point.
Yeah, I really like SMB, and the monkeys I did meet down in Art Basel were just top
Mhm.
tier people, just people that really cared about the environment, and that's just a strong thing. So I do want to talk. Let's talk about Art Basel because it was awesome. I That's the one event that I really wish I wasn't sick for. Like if I was sick for Breakpoint,
Mhm.
whatever, most of the time we're sitting there learning from top-minded individuals. But this was more of a networking event at Art Basel, right? We were talking to a lot of people, shaking a lot of hands, and it made it tough for me. Dorian was out here killing it, y'all. He was literally just going up to everybody, shaking hands. Him, Salami Mommy, Lou, Benny, Saigo were all just going out shaking hands. It was tough for me because I had to talk over loud music most of the time. I was networking a ton Thursday, but by Friday and Saturday, I was just
Mhm.
sapped. I could barely talk. Um, we did. So we'll talk about the list of events. So we went to the Catalina Whale Mixer
Yep.
Thursday. That was awesome. Great people there. I got to meet so many people. I got to meet
Yeah.
Walker for the first time ever. It was so nice meeting Walker. Tony from Rug Revenants. Got to meet Yeti. I got to meet Naf. I got to meet a bunch of other whales like Kenny and Slatty.
Yep. Slatty.
Um,
Yep.
that I absolutely adore. They're just great people, dude. Great people. And It was so nice to meet everybody. It was so nice to see all the Sams in one place. We got to see Curve.
Yeah.
We got to hang out with Shake a lot while we were down there as
Brian
well.
or
Yeah.
Austin Tinsuit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like literally all of them. So it was so nice. It was so nice getting to see everybody. They had great music. I will say Wales, from an event perspective, probably put on one of the best events while we were down there, just because the venue was different compared to everything else. It was on the beach. They had 2 top tier artists coming in and DJing between A-Track and Just Blaze. I was very sad though. A-Track and Just Blaze pretty much just like they did a bunch of mixing of house music and like Miami Vice music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was I was waiting for like their songs to come on, so I didn't even know Just Blaze went on because it was inside, and I was pretty much out by the beach the entire time because that was where it was easy for me to talk to people. But it was still so much fun. I had a blast networking with everybody, and obviously rooming with the No Fluff Boys and Saigo. It was great. We got to go to a bunch of stuff together. The next day, you guys went. Did you guys go to it was a monkey event or something like that, right?
On Thursday, or no, on Friday. It was the D Gods event on Friday, I think.
Yeah, well, I before that, so it was Cyber Samurai.
Saigo went to the monkey event. Oh, I went to the monkey event with Saigo. Yeah, I did.
That's
yeah,
right.
I got in there
You
with
guys went to the
Saigo.
monkey event.
Yeah.
And we all met up for the Cyber Samurai dinner where we got.
Oh yeah.
I wish I had it in front of me. I may go run and grab it.
I'm wearing it.
Oh, there you go. We got a hoodie and a hat for free. And dinner. Like, if you guys aren't picking up Cyber Samurai right now, I have no idea what to tell you. You're doing yourself a disservice. Like that, it is seriously the best under 5 soul play you can possibly make. Go grab one right now. Not financial advice. Nothing on this podcast is advice, but like, it's the best community. It really is. And like, we got to. It was much more of like a family dinner than an event. Got to talk to Nam more intimately with some of the other monkeys like Simon and MacD and everybody like that. Yeah. It was very nice. They're just good people, man.
Oh yeah,
they're good people. So that was awesome. Then we went straight to the D Gods event with E-Money. E-Money's another person we met down.
Yeah, that's my boy now.
Yeah, E-Money's great, dude. I love E-Money. And we went to the D Gods event. That was sick, but the embassy is small and that event was big. And so a lot of people didn't get in. And I would say that's my one gripe with the event. Also, the music was loud, so I like was screaming at people trying to talk to them. And I was already down bad. You can hear it in my voice. Like this is my voice like 10 times better than what it was over the weekend, y'all. Like I literally could not talk. So that was frustrating for me just because I couldn't talk. But I know everybody was over there just shaking hands, and we saw so many people there. It was very nice to meet everybody. And then after that, what was Saturday? That was Monkey Pal. We didn't end up
I didn't go to Monkey Pal.
No. And then we went to the D-Gen 8 event too. That was back at the embassy, but a lot more quiet. And I actually got to talk to people. I got to talk to Kevin from Dust Labs. Great guy. Honestly, like it was phenomenal talking to him because they're just real humans. I got to meet Frank for like 2 seconds, but everybody's trying to pull and grab at Frank.
Oh yeah, we actually got into a pretty long conversation. Me, Salami Mommy, E-Money, and I think Lou was there as well. We were just sitting in a circle talking to Frank for a good 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was after I left though. I was just not feeling it, guys. So they got to talk to him. Look, it was so nice because when I went to go check Twitter for sentiment, everybody's going at each other's throats and everything like that. And if you were at the event, you just saw like a bunch of camaraderie. So I would say like if you want the synopsis on it, going to these events, you'll start to see like the true character of people. Whether they're afraid to fight in person, I don't know. But you just saw like a lot of collaboration. Like at the DAA event, you saw Nam and Kevin talking like normal humans, just like conversing. And you're like, what is this perceived beef on Twitter that you see between SMBs and D Gods? It's not there. It really isn't there. It's just like a couple of actors in the space that people perceive to represent one party or the other. And that's not true. Like if you saw the community itself, they're all everybody wants the best for this ecosystem. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the rumors of Frank asking for $5 million to stay on Solana is true or not. Doesn't sound like it. Frank's just like, he's just a good, wholesome young man.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he's what, 23, 24? Like,
Yeah, man.
he doesn't have that conniving aspect to him. You would never get that sense from him. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on Twitter. Completely different vibe than what was in person. I would say that's my biggest takeaway from the events. All the people are just great. Solana's full of a bunch of chads and people who want the best for the space. And you know, I'm bullish on Solana. After that event, I'm so bullish on Solana.
Yeah, dog. No, I completely agree with you, man. Since that event, I have shifted my perspective regarding utility away from, it was already starting to move away from things like such as tech products and tech-based utility to more like tight-knit community and hosting IRL events. If you are not aggressively at these events, I don't think you're going to pump in the future, man. It's like the way at like Nam, meaning he's an awesome dude. Tall dude too. Like he's a big boy. And I mean that in the most positive way. Cool dude as well. And just like he's so aggressively at all these events, pushing the SMB brand. And I'm like, oh wow, like that type of personal interaction that you have with people is the best utility you can get. As Bison was talking about, Shake hosting the Cyber Samurai dinner and getting all this value from meeting people, free dinner, free even the hoodie is like, that's more utility than you probably got from 99% of the projects out there. And that was under 5 SOL. We had a guy come to the dinner who purchased the Cyber Samurai like an hour before the dinner, came in, still got a hoodie, and still got to meet everybody. There's no better utility than that. And then just a quick piece of alpha for what Shake and I have coming in the future. We're going to kick that little event was nothing compared to what we're going to do in the future.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And we saw our best SOL volume day yesterday, I think, in terms of traded volume. And it was because we went to this event and we just network. I mean, literally Dorian was going over to everybody, just preaching about Cyber Samurai. And once they came to the event and everything like that, you saw the culture we're trying to build over at Cyber Samurai. Dude, Remnants has also been pumping lately. We'll talk about that later in the show. We're back at 16 SOL. It's crazy.
Hey, let's go, man.
Yeah,
wait, I could have swore somebody on this show has been talking about Remnants for like, I don't know, since August now. Like, I don't know what could it have been.
Yeah, I did say under 5 SOL is fun, and now we're at 16. So
quick 3x.
Yeah, no, it was, if you bought when I told you to, it's about a 4x here. So congrats to everybody who bought. I sold one of my rems and everybody was up in arms, I guess, in the Discord or in private chats. I used it to buy 4 more camps because camps are undervalued right now. So like, everybody calm down. If you're looking at this, like, I promise I'm not leaving or anything. I sold one of my 22. So like, it's okay. I promise you, I'm still here. I'm just learning to take profit and rotate it into undervalued plays, and I'm still within the ecosystem. So I now have 21 rems and 20 camps. I'm feeling very happy right now. And Remnants of the Moon, we do have a new mobile app coming out soon. But yeah, it was just so nice, dude. I love that event so much. I wish I wasn't sick for it. Cannot tell you how miserable I was just like sitting in a corner being the antisocial guy solely because I couldn't talk or anything. And that's just not me. It was like killing me on the inside. But other than that, I encourage everybody, like, do your best to make it out to one NFT event a year if you're planning on staying in the space. I promise you will get so much alpha, so much, and just the connections and communities you build within those IRL events. Like, I know I could talk to Nam and he knows who I am now. You know what I mean? Like, I could talk to Frank and he'll be like, I met that guy for 5 seconds, but he was cool. You know, and Kevin, we might get Kevin on the show. I don't know. I know he was asking to schedule something, so we'll see if we can get him on. But like, that's what you get out of these IRL events is so bullish compared to what you get on Twitter. Like, find your communities on Twitter, but when you're out in IRL events, like that is your community right there. And so you get a lot of cross-pollination, and it is just so nice to see. So that's it. Dorian, I'll let you closing remarks on our path. What was your takeoffs from it?
Oh, dude, it was just like awesome, man. It's like knowing I knew you and a lot of the guys from No Fluff. I always want to say RareFUD now. No Fluff for a while now, and especially you, Bison. You started this RareFUD. Jesus Christ, you started RareFUD, and it's like me, you never met each other. So like, I knew we were friends, but like going out in like real life and meeting each other in person, like, has a deeper connection than just being internet friends now. So and like the people that you meet, everybody's so sociable. And you'll make friends there, and you'll hang out with them when you get there, like even at these events. You're all in NFTs, you all have different backgrounds. It's great to see what different projects you're working on in the space and what other communities you're a part of. I got to meet the her name on Twitter is Vivian Dow. She is the creator of Fast AF, an app that distributes NFT merch if you hold an NFT. Degen Apes use them, and she's an amazing person. I probably would have never met the head engineer for that in any other way. So it's just like all these cool people that you meet is invaluable, and you need to go to these IRL NFT events.
Yeah, I would highly encourage you do. So we'll leave it at that. Let's talk a little bit about market headlines and what's going on here. Let's talk about DeGods, because I know there's a lot of just swirling rumors, and I want to go ahead and like not squash them, but stop running with these guys. Like until we get official like notifications from any of these, they're not true. So there's DeGods going to ETH. That one feels more valid than DeGods asking for 5 mil to stay on Solana. That seems baseless, but in terms of going to ETH, yeah, that seems like a possibility. But I would just say, like, if they're going to ETH, that's bearish for me. Not like if they're transferring everything to ETH and they're going to be an ETH project only, that's bearish. Now, if they're commingling or they're doing airdrops or something on ETH, that's bullish, y'all. Stop. Stop. That's good. That brings another community over, and they like maybe they want their original asset or something like that. I think another thing too is, like, if they really wanted to go to ETH, why wouldn't you just make Utes an ETH project? Like, if you didn't think of this ahead of time, and I think they'll run into the growing pains over there. Like, do you imagine how much of a pain in the ass staking is going to be over on ETH? Because I've staked stuff on ETH. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And so staking and unstaking is not a very fun process over there. So, I don't know the truth. Nobody does right now. Stop pushing the narrative. We'll see what happens with it, but I want your take, Dorian. What do you think about all this stuff going on with DeGods?
I say it's all speculation, but there's nothing more than what this market loves than speculation. Like, just wait for Frank to make an announcement. As you said, if they're like moving completely over to ETH, it's kind of bearish. Like, why would you even release Utes on Solana? Like, both ecosystems are different. It has a completely different market. So I think you're better off staying here and continuing to build your brand here than moving to ETH, but I'm also not in charge of the project either. However, if you're like doing some airdrops to bring some more people in the community, I don't see anything wrong with that. It's the same thing like what Adam is doing, which I'm sure we'll talk more about him later, is he's never going to leave voxel monkeys. They're always going to be on Solana. But at the same time, he's continuing at that cross-chain pollination where it's like, oh, you're on Solana now, and this Solana thing gives you access to something on ETH. Oh, you're on ETH now, and this ETH thing gives you something to access on Solana, which I think is better for both ecosystems.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if they play it that way, like, why not? Why are we getting so up in their grill about stuff like that? They're just propping up, and they're tapping into another liquidity pool, which is good for their holders. Like, at the end of the day, I know we all want to be like, we're for Solana. You're for your people. You know what I mean? Like, as traders, I'm for my bags. I am trying to make money. Like, at the end of the day, I am. When you are a project owner, you are acting with the best respect to your holders. That is what a good project owner does. So if he feels that is necessary, that's what he has to do. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I would question, like we said, the strategy of moving to ETH seems bearish to me, but cross-pollination with ETH, bullish, and so we'll see what happens with it. We'll see what happens with Frank and everything he does. But I'm sitting over there like, he clearly cares. He wouldn't have had a party at the Solana embassy if he didn't think Solana had a future. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. I think I'm just gonna leave it at that, because all this FUD, this drama with SMP that is just perceived drama.
Yeah, there's no drama. Like, at the event, there was like, And one thing I love about these events, it's the same people rotating events. Just like how we're all trading against each other, we're all rotating to the same events. So you have D-Gods at SMB events, SMBs at D-Gods, and guess what? I can promise you there was no beef in person when we were at these events, like zero.
Right. Yeah, there was no drama, guys. It was seriously just
No.
like love. Everybody was fine with it. So, moving on, we did get John Lay airdrop for those who were holding IOTA. I assume this would happen. If you sold into the airdrop, you actually made more money off of it, and you could have just bought IOTA and then the airdrop back. But nonetheless, IOTA did sell out. It went up to double digits, I think.
Yeah, 10-ish.
Yeah, it was a 9 the last time I checked. I think it ran up to 10 plus. And then airdrop happened. We started seeing the drop from it. I think it's selling it for about 2 SOL for the airdrop, and then back to 5.9 for the actual IOTA edition. Right now is the time to buy IOTA, guys. Like, I'm, not financial advice, but what you get from it is a physical hard copy from John Lay himself, and it'll be his first edition of this comic. And it's gonna be worth so much money in the future. Like, if you have a longer time horizon, it's gonna be worth it, dude.
Yeah.
2.69 is what the airdrop is worth. So actually, you're about net neutral on your gains if you just held. And it just looks so good, dude. John Lay is the GOAT. Man, he's so good at art. Like, you should be supporting these guys. It only has 12 SOL volume on the drop, though, so I would imagine you can probably see some more come down off the price on that. But dude, it's free stuff. We speculated that John's not going to just stop at the comic, and we're starting to see it now. So if you held, congrats. If you believed in him, congrats. It is starting to pay off, and I imagine since it is titled Drop 001, this probably will not be the last drop we get from holding IOTA. So not financial advice, doing your own research, but probably some speculation there in the future.
Yeah, man. It's crazy because people faded the heck out of IOTA. Like, it was during that weird time, like I think it was like a week or so before the FTX crash. They just fudded John so hard, and it took a while to mint out. But as soon as it minted out, the people who did mint are the ones who do have a longer investment time horizon, and you can see this by the amount listed. I think there's like only 27 out of the 5K listed, which is absolutely insane. Because the people who picked this thing up, not only did they pick up one, but they have multiples, and they're just waiting because they have confidence in this guy who already established himself as one of the forefront artists in Solana NFTs. And what do you think is going to happen from here? He's just going to fade from history? No, it's going to be up only for him if you have a time horizon longer than 6 months. So it's just one of those things you pick up and wait. And at the current prices, 5.9 SOL is a steal, especially with SOL being down bad. So I think picking up John Lay's edition and just waiting for a little bit is probably one of the best plays you can do.
Yeah, 100%. So, go grab John's pieces, man. Seriously, IOTA feels like the best play right now out of all of them. If you want future gain, future value, future speculation, IOTA is going to be the one he concentrates on. I would imagine. Oh my goodness. I would imagine that the first edition and GM are not just going to go anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to forget about those by any means. But IOTA probably has more guaranteed value in the future. So if you do want to grab a piece, it's great, dude. You get a physical hard copy of his comic. Like, that's awesome. So John Lay, go check him out. We love John Lay. We're an artist stand here. Speaking of another artist we told you about, Adam 8. Holy cow. His stuff is going berserk right now. I kept waiting for a pullback. I'm glad I just bit the bullet and bought back in because I sold around 30, 35. And I was like, okay, well, we'll probably get a post Brave drop release, and I'll be able to snag some then. And they just kept going up. So I bought back in around 44. They are now at, last time I checked, Voxel Monkey and Supply Chain drop is 79, and 4x4 is a little under 90. Yeah, we're at 86 right now. So if you had grabbed, when we told you to, around 20 SOL for 4x4 and sub 20 for Voxel Chain, Voxel Monkey Supply Chain, then you're sitting very pretty. This is one of the
Yep.
best performing assets in this bear market. And I guarantee you, we're not even close to the Q1 drop yet of Iron Paw. So you still have another month. I'd watch this patiently, but it feels like everybody who is holding on to these is holding on for dear life. I've been trying to get a voxel monkey, and I promise you, the only things listed are 1,000 sold plus. They were at 400 at one point. The people that bought at 400, so smart, dude. Honestly, I was trying to buy one at 400 when I sold my noun. They delisted literally the night before. So when I sold my noun, they delisted. I was like, come on, man. Like, I could have got one. I'll still try to make bids on them, but honestly, I'm just so bullish on Adam and everything he's doing over there. He's actually an advisor for Hotheads, which is another thing that's popping off right now. Dude, I just saw a 333 soul sale, which is just a Boogle on fire, in my opinion. That's all they are. But look, if Adam is on the label of any sort, it's pretty much a guaranteed buy. This man knows the business. He knows art. He does it very well. And I promise you, if this is just the beginning of Iron Paw, 2 ETH feels very conservative to me. Like if they're going to be 0.15 to 0.35 from what he's estimated. Last time we talked to him, that may change. Who knows? But if that's the case, you're looking at a 7x minimum return on this whitelist on ETH. And then you can port that money back over to Sol if you want to. I don't know what that looks like to you, but I want more. I want more of his work. I want all of it. I want as much as I can. I'm tempted to just sell everything and buy as much Adam as I can. This guy continues to prove resilience in a bear market and knows the fundamentals of making sure his projects are top of mind for a lot of top prominent people.
Yeah, dog, you summed that up perfectly, man. I can't, like, one thing about Adam that I think he does better than other one-of-one artists in this space is he's aggressive on Twitter. Like, he's super aggressive on Twitter, and that's what matters. Like, he understands how good his work is. Not only that, he understands the connections that he needs to make in this space and how to promote his work in Web3. And he does all that better than I've seen any other one-of-one artist do, in my opinion. And because of that, because you can tell his confidence in Iron Paw Gang and his work, it's like that comes off not anything remotely as cockiness, but it comes off as confident. And people are attracted to that, including myself. It's like, that's why I'm so bullish on him, because he's making all the proper connections that he needs to do. And like you said, 2 ETH is kind of conservative for you, Bison. And I agree, dog. I think these are going to print over on ETH, man. It's like, if on a low range, it's like me being like conservative and not getting too crazy, I'm like 1 ETH. But like my bullishness in me, I'm thinking like 5 to 6 ETH.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get over exacerbated on my estimates, but it's hard not to, because this man just keeps knowing what he's doing. So yeah, I'm bullish on Adam. I would encourage everybody, if you can, get exposure somehow, some way. Let's talk a little bit about some alpha, right? So we're going to wrap the show up relatively early. Obviously, if you can't hear it in my voice, I'm sick, and I don't know if I can do a full hour stream right now. So let's talk a little bit of alpha going into Christmas, because we've already seen Santa rally. We've seen a holiday rally in most of these NFTs, mainly blue chips. So I'm going to talk a little bit about blue chips. I did post a chart yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah,
I think it was yesterday.
So talking about blue chips, and blue chips have been the best performing. If you caught them on the November 9th flash crash, absolute Black Friday sale right over there, then you were able to capture massive value back in Sol terms. They were the best hedge, unless you sold the top of Sol or local top at $38. And even then, some of these assets are outperforming them. So Utes led the way by far. It wasn't even close. Utes completely 3x'd from there. They were at about,
dropped down 47?
Yeah, they're about 40 to 50 Sol. If you caught the bottom. Galactic geckos were actually a surprise second. Geckos have been cooking lately, man. I don't know what is going on over there, and maybe I need to grab one, because they have been they were a long forgotten project, and then just came out with this this green fund or whatever it is that they've been cooking. I don't know what's going on over there. I need more information. D-Gods, Tubes was right there with you. So Tubes were like the pinnacle, dude. If you still had held your tube, and I played it pretty well, but had I just held my tube, I would have been so good right now. I would have been able to afford so many voxel monkeys at this point. Like, it would have been insane. But um, right there with them, Famous Fox has also been cooking lately. Famous Fox have been doing incredibly well. So Famous Fox is up to almost 60 SOL. Kudos to them. I'm so glad to see builders in the space start getting recognition, because Famous Fox has built so much infrastructure in this space that has been undervalued so much, and are finally getting their stripes. Like, them at 60 SOL feels so much more palatable to me than them being a stable coin at 20 SOL for the longest time. So I'm glad Foxes are getting their day. OK Bears done really, really well.
Yeah, man. I
don't know what's going on
don't
there.
know what's going on over there, but it's just like, I always have a thing. I fade communities until they survive an extended bear market, and OK Bears is surviving, so there's obviously something there.
Yeah, and I would imagine the big thing with OK Bears, because honestly, their community presence has not been very pronounced lately. It hasn't done very, very well. So I I don't know. I was just sitting there like surprised. I think it's mainly because they sold OK Bears sold their treasury into USDC at the best time possible. They got funded for it, and now they have a war chest. And so, if you want to think of it as asset-backed NFTs, they're probably the best position for it. And that's really the only bull case I see from it. Yeah, I don't know, man. They've done really, really well, and so I'm pumped to see them. Manny's saying Zen Dragons, bro, they're at 15 SOL. They hit a peak of 50. So no, they haven't done too well. I mean, like, if you look at the November 9th crash, yeah,
No, he
they're
was
at
just talking. Manny's talking about more of a short-term trading,
yeah.
not
Oh,
like
I love Zen Dragons. Yeah,
yeah,
if we're talking about short-term trade, dude,
yeah,
Zen Dragons has so much room to go. And
yeah.
um who is it that runs Gentle Monkey over there? Dude, Gentle Monkey is underrated AF. They just need to get more projects on board. But they do have one of the best project suites out there as far as their staking platform. And they had a launch pad that was actually really fun to use. It was unbottable. I just don't know many people that are using them. So if they get more people over there, I'm down. Zen Dragons is great. They got builders over there. So going back to now here's where I think the real value lies. If you want to look at blue chips that I think are undervalued, Tayo is up there. Tayo has only gone plus 116%. I think they have more room to grow, dude. If Graphite comes out and they are like the new Metaplex, basically, for the token standard of what everybody builds on, and it's a no-code suite and everything like that, and they're going to have these brands underneath the Graphite protocol that are, like Web3 only fans or whatever. You can hate it as much as you want. That's going to print, dude. That is going to absolutely print. So Tayo is sitting there. Monkey Baby Business has done really well.
Oh, yeah.
They've been cooking lately, and I love Finn. I love that community over there. It's a smaller supply size too, so supply squeezes are very prominent over there. That's one I have my eye on. But really, the big ones that I want to highlight: Catalina Whales. They are one announcement away from just shooting back to 50 plus, and I think they will. Their ability to throw a party, IRL events. If we're bullish on
fun.
IRL events,
It was
I mean,
fun.
they know what to do. And they have the potential to just pull in as many people as they want into Web3. And the community is awesome in person. I would say the one thing I always disliked about Catalina Whales was they felt very pretentious online, but when you met them in person, like, I met a bunch of whales and they're all cool as can be over there. So I'm bullish on whales. SMBs are another big one. I know we talked about that too. They're one of the OGs. I think they will always have historical value, and they could be the punks of Solana. And then Degen Ape Academy. I don't know what they're going to cook over there. I don't know what's going on over there, but they are just builders. They work in silence, and so they're one announcement away. I'm looking at them to play catch up to the rest of the blue chips, because they haven't seen nearly as big of a pump as some of these other guys have that I mentioned prior to this. So those are the ones that I'm looking at. If we're looking at blue chips, I want to keep an eye on. It's those three. So Catalina Whales, SMBs, and DAAs.
Yeah, dude, it's like I'm glad you shielded most of my bags. That really makes me happy. It's an amazing feeling. But no, I'm right there with you, man. I think this has been the theme of this episode for both of us. Is just like we're bullish as hell on real IRL community events, and the NFT projects that we're talking about do it the best. SMB, after going to these events, is a hands down for me. I told you, meeting Nam and several other holders, including Saigo. He's newly, but I mean, I know Saigo for a while. Um, it's just, you can tell like there's something going on over there. Like the longevity of Solana, SMB is tied to that. I see DAA being tied to the longevity of Solana. So we might not see immediately pumps in these things, but that's not why you pick them up. You pick them up for the networking opportunity. And if you want to grow your brand in the space, you need one of these things because it puts you in the spaces with the individuals who are making the most moves. And then moving on. So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to do this in like decreasing order of price. So the next one is, I mean, you mentioned DAA. To me, that's a no-brainer as well. It's we saw the eggs, they get airdropped, and they were like 90, 100 SOL when SOL was like 30-something. I think they even dropped a little bit before then, before the huge crash. Anyway, I think that's another no-brainer as well. Anytime Solana gets a chance, they're talking about DAAs and SMBs. They're also aggressively at all these IRL events too. So they just need a little bit to make them pop off. Moving down the ladder to Catalina Wells. Dude, they're so interconnected with everybody in Web 2. They threw probably the best party in Miami that we attended for the NFT event. I told the guys, I'm like, yo, if this party wasn't it, I'm flooring my well. And like, I was dead serious about that because that was the entire utility of why I picked up a Catalina well, was to have good parties and network. And if Catalina did not follow through on that core utility, I was done. I'm flooring it. But guess what? Your boy still has his will. Not flooring it because the team is awesome. I got to meet Kenny out there. I got to meet Slatty from Bubble Goose, multiple other wells. Dude, they're great people. Super happy that I went down there to meet those guys, and it made me bullish on wells even long term. Moving down the list, of course, I got to talk about Cyber Samurai. Man, once again, the relations that you make during these events shows in the floor price. Over the weekend, from me just talking to a bunch of people, we had a ton of sales, not only in Cyber Samurai and Sush. I wonder why. It's because I gave them in-person alpha that I'm not going to give you guys on stream. But I'm telling you that maybe you should consider picking it up because Shake and I are also, with this next thing that we have coming, we have a lot of, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. We're going to put a huge focus on the things that will reward holders the most, especially when it comes in terms of IRL events. So I'm super excited for what we had coming. I had a 2-hour meeting with him this morning, and it made me bullish to say the least. And then finally on my list is Bubble Goose. I got the chance to talk to Slatty. We haven't mentioned Bubble Goose in a while, but while all the FUD has been happening, and I purchased it like 10 or 12 of them when they were at 9 SOL, and they went to lowest 2, guess what? I didn't sell. You know why? Because why I purchased in a Bubble Goose didn't change. I also picked up more Bubble Goose after talking to Slatty because of what they have coming. So long term, I know that Carl's going to be able to execute. I'm still bullish on the team. But the only thing that makes me slightly bearish, and I think this is the problem with all IP plays, it's like, what the heck do you get for holding this thing? That needs to be a little bit more defined. But I'm still confident that Carl and the team will be able to execute it. And then that critique wasn't just for Carl, it's for all the IP plays out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for saving my voice because I was going to bring up Bubble Goose as well. And then when it comes to Cyber Samurai, make sure you're picking up Sush. Buy them in 6s. If you guys don't know already, buy 6 Sush at a time, or at least work up to 6. And then we talked about it on stream. I'll go ahead and say it again. Watch out for Saki, because that's basically 6 Sush, right? So you could play it to where if Saki is less than the value of 6 Sush, buy Saki. I did yesterday. I bought 1 Saki. I left the other one alone just for somebody else to go get. Oh man, I'm fading fast. So, yeah, watch out for that. And then, speaking of IP plays, I know we're going to talk about it, but Claynosaurs did mint. They're at 27 right now. They're actually holding pretty well. I'm actually looking for them to break out. Cabatimation was at some of these events. He is at Monkey Pal. Claynosaurus looks like it could be a brand that holds up pretty well. And one of the reasons I am kind of changing my stance is because I was looking at it the wrong way. Look, if OK Bears can go to almost 60 or at 60 right now, why can't they? You know, like if that's the real case, I think they actually have some brandability there. And so I'm looking to pick one up. I did pick one up and sell it pretty quickly. I'm looking to get back in, but I do think they run here. They are going to have an airdrop midweek. Look for it if you do hold them. But that's all I have to say about Claynosaurus. And then, buy Remnant Camps. If you guys want alpha, buy Remnant Camps right now. Remnants went up to 16. Camps should be at least half the price. So they're at 6 right now. They should be at 8. And then once you see them in Q1 2023, you'll see why I'm saying buy them now. If you're a longer term holder, they're going to be worth a lot more than what you're seeing them right now. So that's all I have right now. Dorian, I'll let you give any closing remarks, then we'll wrap up the show.
No, man, I don't know. Closing remarks on my end. We covered everything, Art Basel, all the different projects we're looking at. SMB floor is slightly going up, and I'm like, I got my eye on one SMB that's 269 right now, and I'm like, no, I need to liquidate.
Well, guys, don't front run Dorian. He wants that SMB. Please don't do it to him. And yeah, I think that about does it for this show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Seriously, we do appreciate it. We appreciate all your support. It was so nice meeting most of you guys in Miami, if you were there. And next time, hopefully I'm on stream. Well, that'll be tomorrow. So I will still probably be sick. Hopefully I'll be a little bit better. But the next time I meet you IRL, or the next week I'm on stream, I will be back to 100% and we'll get this thing really cranking out. 2023 is going to be a big year for RareFUD Radio. I promise you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys so much for your support. And we'll see you on the next episode of RareFUD Radio.